and welcome to the opening round of Virtual Sim League's Season 9 for Tier 1. My name is Jess Ball, and joining me for the opening round of the Australian Grand Prix, we have Mr. Evil Dragon, also known as Liam New. How are you doing tonight?
Well, I say that, it has crashed 6 times in the last, 40 minutes. I mean, we'll ignore that. But I am here, temporarily, presumably hopefully for a lot more than temporarily. We're Australia, we are here at the lovely Melbourne, Albert Park. First hosted a race back in 1996. This circuit, by the way, reconfigured just over a year ago, of course. First hosted its new race this year on this brand new circuit, which will take you on board with these lovely 2022 cars. Because ironically, a car's come out of the pit lane. It's a Red Bull, but which one is it? There's 2 of them, and it will presumably be neither of them. No, it's Kieran. He comes up to the pit lane. So, first car on circuit, Jess. It's Mr. Kieran.
But before we go through that,
he's going to be hoping for some good fun. And these are the main changes here. Turn number 4, that's been widened. Turn 1 as well has been slightly widened. Now, the exit of this corner also slightly changed. There is now a barrier which will eat you if you go wide, which was there normally, but it's close now. This corner here, slightly widened. You can take it a lot more quicker. And this is the big change, Jess. This complex down here, no longer the chicane where a nice overtaking opportunity was. Now, flat out, pedal to the metal. And it's all the way down towards, I think it's still called the Clark chicane.
Well, before we go through a lap around this circuit, let's go through the teams, Liam, because we got 2 tiers. Only obviously 20 drivers can get into Tier 1. So we are going to be explaining which drivers have got into what tier. So we have got Mercedes, we have got Slenderman and Flexi. So some of them might not be here tonight, so there will be reserves in their place. In the Red Bull, we have Kieran, and we have reigning champion Casper, who did very well last season and is looking to redeem himself, especially with him using no assist this season. McLaren, we have Darragh Smith, who was a new driver for the last half of last season, did very well, and partnering him is Foxy Red, but Darragh is not here tonight, so Charlie Harris will be filling in for him for this race. In the Ferrari, we've got Timo, championship contender from last season, and alongside him, it was reserve driver from last season, Jinx. In the Aston Martin, we have Hayden Rogers, and we have Shane as well, which we saw in the Spanish Grand Prix a few weeks ago. In the Alpine, we have Speed Knighton and Mata. In the AlphaTauri, we have Finley and Cam, as someone has just invalidated my lap as we were talking about Finley, so that was good timing. In the Alfa Romeo, we have Yarham and LRE Hyper. In the Haas, we have Harry we have Harry and we have Scott as well. 2 of them go very well together. And in the Williams, we have Tony and Iceman. And we're missing 1 Aston Martin driver, I believe that's Shane. So we got TL44S in that Aston Martin. So those are your drivers. Anyone that catch your eye to challenge Casper for the title this season?
There's going to be quite a few people as they're trying to figure out what Moore's PSN is for Tier 2. I think that's it. I'll put it in the chat. But you might have to check, because I think you know what his PSN is and I don't. But it's going to be interesting to see who is actually to be where. We've got the likes of Iceman. He is going to be a dark horse, I think, this season. I say that as he goes P2. We've got Mr. Burger. Oh, no, not Burger. Bugger. Bunger? I don't know. Is it Bunger?
Bugner.
I'm going to say it's Bugner. I'm going to call him Scott Burger now. There we go. That's his new name this season. From Iceman. Hyper from Charlie. Then we've got Matt, who is the former Washed champion. And a Cam, talking of Washed, he's gone for a spin to the last corner, ironically timed. Thank you very much. Finley in the pit lane as he comes out the pits, I think. We've got Yinks, we've got Slendy, we've got Foxy Red, who is going for... We've got Kieran, who's invalidated. Yaham out of the pit. TL, Tony, Knighton, Timo, Casper, Flexi, Aiden and Harry down at the back so far, still to set a lap time with just over 13.5 minutes to go in qualifying. But to answer your question, Jess, because I didn't answer it, I don't know.
Yes, we don't know who's going to be doing well, and that's a very good thing, not going to lie, knowing which drivers are in the unknowns at the moment. And it's because it's a brand new game, new handling model as well, new update that came out last week, so a lot different to obviously what we saw a few weeks ago when I was commentating with more around Spain. So expect to see the people struggling with tyre pressures a little bit more, because they have to run on the lowest tyre pressures possible, because otherwise you will end up in a spin. And the fact that the game now has a glitch where everyone except the host will start on 70-degree tyres, which is not ideal, which means turn 1 is going to be even more chaotic, Liam, I have to say. But let's go on board with someone on a lap, Liam. Who should we go on board with?
Let's go on board with, not Cam, because he's in the wall. Let's not look at Cam. Because he dropped out of turn 8. Where's Yaham? He is
15th.
Somewhere on my screen. 15th, just comes around the last corner. Let's go on board, and then he's come up into 6th, into 7th gear, down towards turn 1, and into long 1, down towards turn 1. Very breaking, so slight uphill climb, but not too much. Chuck in turn 1. A bit white there in the apex. Now he took more of the old turn 1, but it's all fine. He comes through the exit of there, down into 3 and 4, I believe it is. Right-hander, where Martin Brundle had his monumental crash in 1996. He rises over the crest. Kevin will go too much on the curb as Gav snapped the car around, and Cav's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. So he has had an issue as he now comes down through these fast corners, and it's a purple sector 2 for Yarman. We spoke, Jess, about last season, Yarham's pace. It was very good. If he could get on top of it, he could be a championship rival, and so far in qualifying, he's doing well. He now comes into the quick chicane, down 2 gears, down into 6th, might drop it down to 5th if you need it, but keeps it just about on the absolute limit on the exit. Harry goes quick, it's right now at 17.9, but we continue on board with the Alfa Romeo. A little bit lethargic through there, rear end steps out on the rear, but it's all just about keeping themselves in a straight line. You now come into the penultimate corner, the left-hander. Again, a little bit wide for Yarhan. And now through the last corner, and he's going to have to pin the throttle to the floor. Take the shoulders right up to the line, and let's see what it's going to be. It's better than 17. Oh, it's an 18. Ooh. It's a horrible lap time, in fact.
Yeah, it's not the best lap time. Obviously, we have Harry B and his teammate P1 into a Haas 1-2. We probably wasn't expecting that for this first part of qualifying, weren't we, Liam? Absolutely amazing. We got Mata, who was a champion a few seasons ago, comes across the line in P5. Not too shabby at all, just a 10th exactly behind Timo. Now, if you're wondering where Tier 2 stream is at the moment, well, we are trying to get the commentator into the lobby, so that is why there's a bit of a delay at the moment, but as soon as the commentator's in the lobby, then the stream should be able to get started. But whilst we do that, you can enjoy a bit of Tier 1 action as Charlie Harris, our reserve driver for tonight, is on pole position, the second man into the 117th, and 2 thousandths quicker than Harry B. That is the closest lap I've seen in a long time. We got Flexi coming up to the final few corners now as well. This final corner has been profiled a little bit differently, not much difference, but still you can notice it a little bit. Flexi up to the line, 118.3 for the Mercedes driver, and well, it is a bit. It's a bit quicker than what we saw with Johan's lap. Slenderman, his teammate, is going through the same section of chat, so we'll keep an eye on him at the moment, as well as we head towards the final corner for him. DRS activated as well. He has a derate towards the line, so he was managing his ERS quite effectively as well. 118.2 P6, quite close times, Liam, especially at the front, as Scott Bugner is saying thank you very much. We don't want times to be close anymore. I want to put it on pole, and exactly what he did.
Yeah, 17.7, then just over 2 tenths quicker. A big time slapper for Charlie. Yinks, meanwhile, he's gone up to P4 in the Ferrari then, so Ferrari looking a little bit more competitive. Yellow flag, there's a huge bunch up going on in the middle of the second row DRS zone on this circuit. There is 3? There is 3 of them on this circuit. There was going to be 4, but they decided the one down the long kind of winding straight probably isn't the smartest idea to do. Is Casper comes in to the pit lane. Timo in 6th, Slender in 7th, the Mercedes driver's 7th, and currently 10th position. Those two coming into this season with high ambitions to win the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship. So far for the Mercedes pairing, as a little bit of a grasp for Slender as he comes into the corner. Not looking too bad, but they'll certainly be hoping to get ahead of the Hasses. Those two so far looking very, very formidable.
Yes, I have to say. So a few surprises as well. And obviously Scott Bugner was very unlucky in the pre-season race a few times as well. Got involved in a little bit of a spin. So hopefully he doesn't do that tonight as well. And bearing in mind as well, the strategy that we see last season with soft to medium, not going to happen this season because it's mainly going to be medium to hard on most tracks. I think this is one of the only tracks where soft to hards could be the fastest, as Hyper comes across the line in towards P2. Now, I believe that is a driver from last season, but he changed his name. I completely forgot who that person is, but I will obviously need to double check in a second as well. But we will have to wait and see, of course, as we got Tony up to the line now, who did quite well in the last few pre-season racing, in particular the first one, Mr. Evil Dragon and me commentated. He has invalidated his lap though, so I guess he's going to have a little bit of tradition of starting near the back of the field, as I was seeing Foxy Red past this little section. That one of my favourite bits of the circuit, because you don't have to go a left, right, left. You can just go fully straight on. Absolutely love it as well. The last time I've seen him in a race is ILR, which is a long time ago, probably like 2019, 2020. F1 2019, I'm almost certain of it. It might be F1 2020, I don't have a clue. But the McLaren, anyway, that has been involved in quite a few controversies in real life, obviously, in terms of the IndyCar contract and probably the F1 contract of Piastri. But say no more, Liam, eh? But anyway, Foxy Red up to the line. It's going to be a 118.4 P10. For now, I'm seeing if anyone's going to go even quicker than Scott Bugner at the moment. No one's seeming to be doing so. Iceman, one of our graphics man here at VSL, can only manage 12th position. I think that's it for now, unless Timo could go any quicker. He's 5 seconds down on the first sector.
Yeah, it seems like it's quite interesting, Jess, as I'm just trying to sort something out in the background quickly. So, try to see if we can get more into the server for Tier 2.
Yeah, in the Tier 2 lobby, yeah. So whilst as Timo's gone for a little bit of a spin there whilst you were saying that. So that is, I think, is one of his lap done, but I'm sure he could abort it and go again, which will be good to see. As Harry B ups the line at 1:17.5, 2 tenths quicker than Scott Bugner, and I'm sure Scott Bugner would want to go a little bit quicker than that. Kieran is aborting his lap. Charlie Harris, who was pole for a little bit of the session last time. Let's see how he can manage the final safe corners. Whoa! That is a little bit of a commitment there. P2, almost 3 attempts quicker than his previous best, but not enough to snatch Harry B off of pole position right now. He's obviously, the Hasses are pretty much the ones to watch right now. Casper, reigning champion, only in 9th. Not what we were expecting to see for him, but don't forget he's running no assist. He's not pushing on his lap. I think he's warming his tyres, I think, at the moment for another push up, because obviously I know I've experienced it, and I'm sure you experienced it as well, Liam, where it takes a lap longer to warm your tyres efficiently. So if people don't want to use the softs in the race, expect people to do maybe an extra lap on the soft so they could get the heat into the tyres, and that's what Casper's doing. He's starting to push now as we head towards turn number 2 and 3, and I think he seems to be managing the car a lot better as well, the Red Bull driver. He only has 4 minutes to go, so I wonder if this will be his final lap, but we will have to wait and see, of course. But yes, so we will get to see how well he does as well. And then we got, where's Pete? Pete's going through sector 1 now as well, as he's on his next lap. Hayden Rogers in 19th. We were spelt wrong in the graphic, in the lineup graphic, by the way, which was quite weird. But anyway, there we go. Final laps are about to be happening for the drivers. Can't before the storm, Liam. I don't know who's going to get pole, but it's looking like it's either going to be a Haas or a McLaren.
Yeah, it certainly could be, but never count any of the other drivers out. There's a lot of them in here. There's a lot that can still improve. I mean, the entire roll at the top. Oh, his hyper's gone into the wall. The XF turn number 1. And he's broke his front left end plate, it seems then. So that's going to be a trip back to the pit. So he's not going to be on the hunt for pole position, as he's got the curb on the inside and has got the curb on the outside. He must have just done a swapper on him, and he's gone straight into the wall. Jinx has backed off his lap time with 3 minutes to go.
Yep, he has. I think Williams was backing off there. Oh, no, Williams is actually pushing on his lap.
Knighton across the line right now. Let's see what he can do. And it's P4 for Knighton then. So he's going to have, if he wants to do a... I think that probably will be his only lap time he'll be able to do unless he has a real back off his lap. So far, bugging up through the last corner to begin his lap time. So we've got a few start their final laps. You've got Jinx, who, like I said, is invalid. And we've got the few others all on lap times. We've got Aiden on a lap so far. He'll be the next to cross the line. He's currently down in the sector 3.
Yeah, so Hayden's going through sector 3 now. Now, there's less corners compared to, obviously, the last year's version of it. And, oh, wait a minute. How did Hayden not invalidate his lap time there? That was interesting. So he's avoided this lap. That's going to be curtains, I think, for his qualifying session, because he's not going to have time to get a lap in at the moment. We've got Finley, who's about to start his run then, I think.
Scott's invalid, Jess. Sorry to cut over you. Scott has invalid, so that's P3, not going to be setting another lap time. As Jinx has a big tax. That was a huge gaggle of cars, by the way. Down into the first couple of sectors here, I'm noticing we've got a Red Bull, a Mercedes. This is a little bit kind of bunched up here, but I think they'll all sort each other around. Yellow flags flying. As again, Jinx having another tank slapper on the exit of turn 5 into 6 and 7. I think it's turn 8 up here. And he is down 8/10 of a second, not improving. TL44, one of the new guys. What can he do as he passes the Alfa Romeo? He'll have a McLaren coming up soon as well. As there's so much traffic, Jess, on these laps. And I think he's backed off as well.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to be backing off Liam as Hyper has retired from the session, but we'll keep an eye on Iceman's lap time now, and these seem to be looking good at the moment as well. Iceman seems to be a little bit confident around his track, but he's got to negotiate quite a bit of traffic. That's a bit chaotic for the Williams man, so Iceman up to the line. He's got a bit of tow from the car in front. Is it going to be enough for pole position? No, P6, so we have to sell that. There's a lot of cars. There's a lot of cars, so we have to follow them. I think we got Timo on his out lap. Is there anyone about to finish their lap? I think the Red Bulls might be. No, both the Red Bulls on out lap. So we got Finley next as the next person who was on a lap to finish his lap. He's got 20 seconds to go, so he has time to do one more lap if he wants to. He improves time to 14th place. Timo is about to start his next run. Foxy Red is going through sector 2, whereas his teammate in P2. He's about to start his final run. We have got, I believe, Mata, Pete's teammate. He's coming towards the final sector. This will be his only run, because I think by the time he crosses the line, the checker flag will drop. So Mata, the reigning champ, well, not the reigning champion, the champion from season 7, can he come across the line and get a pole? No, not quite, but he was purple in the final sector, so imagine what he would have been like if he got purple everywhere else. TL44 up to the line. Looking good lap for him so far. 1:18.0 puts him into the top 10. Not too shabby. Then we've got Yarham, only 17th place for him. There's a lot of cars up to the line. As Charlie Harris stays in P2. I think he could be the only man that challenges for pole.
Up into 4th, Jess.
Flexy's up to 4th. And we got Kieran as well.
Let's see what... No, he's invalidated. Stays down there in 9th. So Mercedes in 4th and 9th so far. We've got Timo through the last corner. Your defending reigning champion down in 14th. He would so dearly love to get himself on the front row. Could only manage 11th. And that there, a real surprise then. Your defending champion.
He's not the reigning champion. Casper's the reigning champion.
I forgot who's who. Where is Casper? He's down in 14th. Never mind, he is on a lap actually, Casper.
No, he's not.
Is he not?
No.
Oh no, he's finished. Okay, well the reigning champion and the second place reigning champion then. are down in 14th and 11th. So, I mean, slight rollback then. We'll pretend I didn't say anything. The reigning champion down in 14th. There we go. That
Got
worked.
there in the end. We're trying to sort out things in the background as well. That's why we're getting the rust out the way now, and hopefully it will improve come to the race, of course, because, yeah, I still don't know what's happened to the Tier 2 commentator right now. I don't know why people can't add him. I don't know why he can't add the host. So, yeah, having a bit technical issues Tier 2's then, but hopefully Tier 2 can get a stream, because we want to see that stream as well, to be honest. I was going to watch that back at the end, but that aside, here are the Tier 1 qualifying results for you right now. So, Harry B, P1, 117.5, 7 thousandths, separating himself and Kieran. So Kieran's lap, well, he was one of the only ones that improved. Charlie Harris third, Matter 4th, Flexi 5th, Scott Butler 6th, Knighton 7th, and we got Iceman, Slenderman, Hyper, Timo, and we got TL44, Jinx, Casper, Finley, Foxy Red, Yarham, Tony, Hayden and Cam bringing up the rear. So that is your running order for today's Australian Grand Prix. And I think we should be on an exciting one. Massive shout out, by the way, to all 10 of you that are watching the stream. And don't forget that these drivers have to follow the 2-minute rule. And if someone readies up too early before Matter does, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And I believe they will get a pack. Someone's readied up.
Someone's getting a penalty.
Yeah, someone's getting a penalty. I'm not sure who that was. I think someone's too scared to admit that at the moment. So, yeah, I was going to go through the calendar and everything evil, but I can't.
No. Do you know what, Jess? You know what that word is? Someone's a bad word.
I'm not going to say that this season.
We're not saying it this time. VAR are going to have to check who did that.
Yeah. We will, but at least we can get the action going ASAP. So let's look at the tyres. Now, we think it's going to be a medium to hard strategy, and we were proven right. So top 12, they're all starting on the medium tyres, so they think an early safety car is going to happen, and they think the mediums are going to have the most grip. Fair enough. Casper, Finley and Foxy Red and Hayden also on the mediums, but we got Jinx, Yarham, Tony and Cam on the hard compounded tyres. So interested in they've gone for that, because around here, especially in the overcast conditions, it takes a long time to warm up, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm not looking forward to seeing how these guys manage turn one, especially with the 70-degree tyres. The only one that's going to benefit from it is Matt, because he's the host, but yeah, hopefully they fix that glitch.
Yeah, Matt started 4th, to be fair, Jess, so that's it. Now, I've heard from a good birdie who's informing me the Tier 2 stream, Jess, should now be up.
Okay, so, brilliant. So that is
thank you,
good.
Kaya, for letting me know.
Well, it's not up yet, but it will be.
It will be.
Kaya, once you found it, please put the link in the chat so you can watch both streams. So I guess the commentator managed to get into the lobby, which is great news. So have both streams on at the same time and watch them both. And you can watch the end of the Tier 2 race, because they started a bit late. So that's a bit of a bonus, isn't it? If I were you, watch us, because, you know, the pinnacle of VSL, and we're here. You got me, and you got Liam, Evil Dragon. But anyway, we are about to get started. I am not going to predict on who I think is going to win this race, because usually when I predict, they spin and go into a wall. But Matter, I remember in the first race, he spun on lap 1, and he went on to win the race. So I'm predicting whoever's spinning lap 1, they're going to be one of the people that wins the race. There we go. So, Mr. Evil Dragon, Mr. Liam New, over to you for the very first time to cover the start for the Australian Grand Prix, round number 1 of the season.
Yeah, well, Harry then, already on the grid. I think we got manual grid slots. Yeah, we definitely have, because someone spun it in the background, I've just seen.
Yeah,
so
it is
yes,
manual grid slots.
So here we go then, the last car on the grid. Someone's been disqualified. Let's see, as everyone else get themselves into possession. The last car on the order will be Cam, and in he comes then. So, we'll have 5 red lights. 2, 3, 4. When the 5th goes off, look but never stare, because here on 22... it is lights out and away we go. Looks like I think everyone Potentially, he's got a good start there. Definitely a good start there from Matter already coming towards turn 1. Are we going to make it for into turn 1 though? Yes, just I think one is. I've run 2 cars going 1. I think there might have been Matter off the road. Kieran off the road. There's yellow flags in the background there. Slenderman dropped it in the back. So drama already for the Mercedes team then. Has a bit of an issue down there. Yellows fly then. So he comes down to the corner. Oh, Salts are bunching up and round. Spins there. That's Yinks going around in the background. Iceman and Tony come together. As there's all sorts of mayhem. 1 car's out of front rank. Harry leads this race though from Charlie in 2nd, Matter in 3rd. Then comes Kieran, sliding ahead of Timo, Flexi in 6th. Scott, shocking start for him down into 7th, Knighton up to 8th as they funnel themselves down the long right into the left. As I think pretty much everyone else, Jess, has got themselves on to position as Casper in 10th, now dropping himself alongside TL and can't quite pass TL44S. So you can't quite do it so far for him, but I think everyone else just about getting themselves on the circuit correctly. As Bugnut going side by side up the inside of Flexi, forced him a little bit wide, gets the job done as well. So a few people's making up manoeuvres just so far, a few dropping down the order, and all well so far then for these drivers.
Yes, indeed. So I think the Tier 2 commentator wasn't able to go onto the VSL channel, so that is why it's live on his channel. So the link's in the chat if you want to check Tier 2 out. But yeah, there was a lot of people that dropped from their starting positions, which is not good. I'm talking about the likes of Scott Butner as well. And Yaha's one of those drivers. He's at a moment going through turn number 2, Liam, and that is very unfortunate. Then probably didn't get. His tyres are probably too hot at the moment. His hyper goes down the inside of Hayden there in towards turn 4. That was a very brave move as the Aston Martin. And the Aston Martin has also been in the news this week with Fernando Alonso deciding that he wants to race there next season. Maybe Hayden Rogers is channeling his inner Fernando Alonso as we've got Iceman in there that wants to join the party as well, going on this long straight, which again is one of my favourites. Oh, look at that! We've got Tony in the whip as well. Not the Finley actually wanted to go for it as well. They are very brave tonight. That's what Tier 1 is all about. Someone has lost it. Finley's off in turn.
Finley.
I don't know what turn it is now. It used to be turn 12. It's not turn 12 anymore.
Yeah, Finley losing the rear then, got on the curb too much. Rear end says no, thank you very much. I'm going left. Somehow caught it together. That's pretty close to what happened to Timo Glock back in Fascinators. Now, Iceman, a little bit up the inside. Bang, there you go. They're going to touch again. That's a little bit clumsy then. Oh, big off into the wall, and that is, who's that? Hayden Rogers in the wall. Dear, it's enabled. That might be a safety car because there's a lot of debris in the last corner. They came together once. They came together twice. Some of the attacks happened. The rear end couldn't handle it. Into the wall. We will not get a safety car. Only yellows. Finley there dropping down a position. Thought about making a move back up the inside of Johan. Jinx and Slender by the way have caught up to the back of this one after their mistake. As up the inside goes the Jinx on that car. Is there what Finley dropping down the order. I don't know if he's got damage. Turning the 5-second time penalty for cutting the corner and gaining an unfair advantage. So he will have to serve that in his first round of pit stops, Jess. So already a few issues for him, but so far for your top 4, all nice and candy and dandy for them.
Yeah, pretty much the top 4 remain unscathed at the moment. Obviously, Kieran dropped a few places, but at least he's still in the top 4. DRS will be activated then, so we will start to see a few changes. We'll keep an eye on the front too to see if there's any budges there. Doesn't look like it. We've got Jinx, who's trying to get past Yaham to no avail. Pretty much all the medium runners are in the top 13. The only medium runners that are having a bit of a struggle are Finley, Sonderman and Hayden, but they haven't pitted. They didn't get enough damage to pit, which is great news, to tell you the truth, because usually Australia is a track where we see quite a lot of incidents. We saw that last season. Has a yellow flag, that's probably Hayden, once again, who's dropped it. Yes, he has dropped it.
He's got no front range yet,
yeah, he's probably have to go into the pits, Liam, as, I wonder if he's going to retire the car and call it a day. He's gone for a bit of a spin. You don't want to do that, Sunshine, at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on Kieran then as we head towards turn number 7.
Sorry to cut over you, Jess. Sorry to cut over you. Here is Charlie. Is he looking for a move to the inside? He's on the grass. As he goes to the inside, has he got the gap? Yes, he does. Into the lead then. The McLaren will take the lead then here in Australia on lap 4 of 29. but he done it too early. DRS reactivated for the house. Has he got any opportunity down into this corner? Definitely not, too far back then. So optimism then for Charlie. Gets the job done, but has he used too much DRS? No, he hasn't. He's all fine. Out of the session already as Aiden, so he's called it time on this race. Yarham's also, I believe, stopped not too long ago because he's a long way back down the order so far, but Charlie now leads this race. Harry in second. Matt will be the next to try and chase him. Then we've got Kieran. Then we've got Timo, Scott, Flexi, Aiden. Meanwhile, where is Casper? Only up into 10 so far for your reigning champion. He's not making as much impression to the top guys as I thought he would make.
Nope, he's not. He is really struggling a little bit on those medium tyres. But again, still a long way to go in this race. We can still have weather-affected changes at the moment. You never know. We don't get told about the weather. The only people that know about the weather is the drivers. So Casper head towards turn number 7. We'll keep an eye on the front as well. We've got Pete, I believe, the only driver with a 3-second time penalty inside the top 10. Then we've got Tony and Finley also getting time penalties as well. Some of them may be 5 seconds for making contact with another car as well. Sparks flying on that Aston Martin MTL 44. So he is pushing to try and get past Speed Knighton. I need to get my track map up, Liam. Yarham's off to the wall, so I think that will be his day done. Be careful. Luckily, there's no cars between them as well, as we're starting to see a DRS train going into its full effect at the moment. I won't be surprised if Yarham calls it a day as well later on in this race. So, lap 6 now, I believe. So another yellow flag.
Oh, yellow
Flexi.
And Flexi as well. So 2 off. Oh, there's been contact there, though. So we've got another car off into the wheelchair. So that is Hyper who's gone off. Flexi has also gone off. We've had Jinx go off in Sympathy a few corners beforehand on the hards. So something's going on down there. And what rotten luck then for the Mercedes team. Both of them now no longer in the top 10. 17th and 14th for them. Tony with a 5-second time money for ignoring yellow flags. So far, Jess, on lap 6, no safety cars, but a lot of accidents to come. And I tell you what, Charlie is starting to pull that gap a little bit right now from the car of Harry. Another yellow flag. That's Yarham who's gone for another spin. And do you know what I mentioned earlier, Jess? Is Yarham is hopefully going to be a nice championship contender. It's not gone well so far for him, I will be honest. He's been in the wall now, I think 3 times. There's a Hyper getting overtaken, I think, now just by Finley into the quick left-right chicane. And he gets the job done right there. But like we said, these drivers, they're struggling. And so far, these conditions, they are pretty cool. The sun's starting to come out, but there is some pretty ominous, thick, dark, black clouds above the circuit. There is potentially a chance of rain. We don't completely know so far, but still Harry, second position. He's got Matt right behind him in third. Not attacking so far. There's no point attacking right now. Wait for see if Charlie pulls out of the DRS. He's 8 attempts up the road so far. Is Flexi getting past?
Another yellow flag, Liam. Other yellow flag. That's Hyper in the pits. So he's either pitting early or he's got some damage. Well, we may as well. TL44 has got past Speed Knighton into turn 3 and 4 then. Nicely does it. Calm and control for him, and he's already pulling away from Speed Knighton, so I wonder if he's got his tyres up to temperature. Scott Bugner has gone down the inside of Timo in towards turn 7. They're starting to make some moves already, Liam, into this early stage of the race before they go and pit onto those hard tyres then. We'll see if Timo can carry the speed and the traction as we head towards this next chicane. I will get the track map so I know what corner it is. It's turn 9 and 10.
Around the outside. What an incredible move from Casper.
Wow.
Trying to cut over again, but Casper right round the outside into one of the trickiest corners you will ever see. Oh, he's been hit. He's been hit then by Knighton. It's like they're a bit of a nudging. I think they got away with the pair of them just about there, but after you, Sunshine, he says. Oh, he's hit him again. Careful, Sunshine. Oh, he's careful. He now got McLaren on the outside, and Knighton really getting his elbows up inadvertently. I didn't mean to do that, as Yarham, I think, decided to have some didgeridoo-dahs into turn number 6, I think it is. But he's having some issues. I don't think either of Casper would have got damaged. I certainly don't think that Knighton would have got damaged. Yep, Cam getting past. We've got yellow flags. Is
Scott!
that Scott Bugner off the road as well as that Timo off as well. So Timo off with Scott Bugner. Those two have come together as well. And what drama we have here in Albert Park, Jess. So far, absolute chaos.
Yeah, I did say it was going to be chaos, but I wasn't expecting that much chaos. So I think I need to put my money where my mouth is, I think, here, because I usually like to tend to have commentators' curses, but I don't do it intentionally, nonetheless. Past turn number 10, then they go, and I think we can see Matt closing in on Howie B, but not quite close enough. Scott Bugner, what a shame for him, he was doing so well. He got very unlucky, just like Spain, but don't forget, top 12 here at VSL do score points, and the 2 extra points for fastest lap if you're inside the top 12. So plenty of incentive to keep going, because you never know. Little points can still mean anything in this championship. If you don't have the pace to win the first race, then you need to do well in the remaining races as well, because we know it's quite a long championship compared to last season, because it's the beginning of the game cycle. The F1 22 game is here, and it's here to stay. Mata and Harry B both got DRS as well. And we're seeing TL44's got a 3.1 second gap behind Kieran, so he's not able to close in, unfortunately. Charlie Harris doing a stellar job, by the way, holding on to that lead from Harry B. Even though he's only a reserve. I think he's only a reserve. Hopefully he hasn't changed his gamer tag by mistake as well. A few predictions there. And I think Jason Bugner in the chat has kind of jinxed Scott there, because he was predicting Scott for the podium. And now look where he is, he's in P10. And he also predicted Charlie for the podium. But if Charlie bins it, I think that is going to be Jason's fault. So Jason, you're going to probably hope and pray that Charlie pulls the pace of his life at the moment, because he's doing not too bad at the moment. Casper up to 6th right now, as he's been chased by Foxy. No, Casper's actually chasing TL44 actually. So I wonder if Casper has the overall pace and straight line speed compared to TL44, as Johan's got to get another penalty. He's still going though, bless him. Another yellow flag. That's Johan once again. I think he's lapped. Liam. So
yeah, he's got no grip. He's got damage on the car, and the rear end's just not sticking with him. He's really struggling. I tell you what, Kieran's really impressing me so far in this race. Maintaining on this top 4 though is Mattel. These 2 drivers definitely taking up. Remember, the 2 guys ahead, as far as I remember, are completely new to the league. Don't quote me on that one, because I do seem to have short-term memory today. But then there are newer drivers, land the likes of Matter and Kieran. Kieran, by the way, not had many victories in his racing career. Only took his first victory, as far as I remember, on last year's game in league racing. So definitely a sense of optimism, a sense of progress for him. He's keeping on to these top 4 so far. He's got Matter, of course, who, remember last season, had a torrid time. He just could not catch a break. Whatever he did just did not work. As there Johan, the man I said could be in a shout of this season, has just been lapped on lap 10. And I will say, Jess, that's really not gone too well. Meanwhile, Iceman and Knighton going battling, and the 2 Speed brothers have come together. And Iceman in the wall then, so Iceman and Knighton, well, there's going to be a bit of a disagreement there, I reckon, of who's done what. Another yellow flag, and who's that? That is Johan, who's now in a wall somehow there, and that is a safety car.
Well, I called Jackson Jason. I don't know why I read Jason. I don't know, it's my eyes. And he's Scott's brother. So there we go.
Has been disqualified.
Johan's been disqualified. I think he's given up. But the safety car is going to bring in people back into contention. Now, the strategy that we were predicting was pit lap 13 onto the hards. So it's not that far off, really. So the drivers who started on the mediums can pit now onto hards to get to the end. And we saw Iceman do it. I think he's very lucky there. Finley and Slenderman are going in as well. The ones that it's not going to help is Cam and Yinks, because it's going to be a while. Lap 16 is when they're going to put onto mediums, but I'm looking at the medium sides. They're meant to last 16 laps. I think they could just about do it. But obviously with the hards being more durable, I don't know. But I did commentate a race on Miami where we had a similar situation. where the hards would be more durable, but a lot of people went on to the medium tyres, and they got to the end quite comfortably. So we'll have to wait and see, of course, but they did struggle towards the end. So we'll see. It's a no-brainer to go into the pits. So that is what Charlie's doing, Matt, Kieran, TL44, Casper, they're all going in. And if I were you, do not stay out, even with the double stack. You're going to lose more time by staying out. Cam goes in as well. So everyone is thinking about going in. They know that they could get to the end no matter what, but they just have to hope and pray that they won't get held up with the double stacking as well. So this is going to be interesting. Flexi's staying out, Liam. Flexi is staying out.
Yeah, I think Flexi's he's on
he
fresher
hit it up a go, didn't he?
Yeah, he's on fresher tyres, but he's not going to get any position, remember, because the safety car came out right in the awkward situation where all these drivers that stopped, they weren't gaining really an advantage compared to what they might do. And I think slightly, the only real gainers I think out of this is Timo. He's jumped up a few positions. Scott's dropped down, I think, one or no, he stayed in 10th. So he stayed where he has. Casper has done something.
He's on the softs.
So he is going for an aggressive strategy. So he's going soft. But, I mean, why not try it, Jess? We might get another safety car later on. There's always a possibility here today. He might think he can get these tires going. We don't know what the weather's going to be doing above us. The clouds are still moving in. They have, in fact, they're not clearing. They have slightly got lighter, but then it's starting to get a bit darker here and there. So I don't know what the weather's certainly doing, but I can tell you one thing, is that Casper, this is either a very bold strategy, or it's not going to end well then. We'll find out in around about a few laps. But remember, the longer this safety car stays out, we should stay out another lap, I believe. Just waiting for Tony Face to get to the back of the field. He is currently coming through the long right-left corners, which leads down toward the quick double left-right, which I think is the Clark chicane. That's what I used to be called. If it's still called that, I can't exactly remember. I'll have to double-check it in the future. Here in Melbourne. By the way, first race in Melbourne, 1958. It was actually on the same layout, pretty much, Liz, though in the opposite direction. So a little fun fact for you there, of course. Most commonly, Formula 1 known in Adelaide from 1986 to 1995, of course, circuit which has seen many dramatic moments from Mika Häkkinen's near fatal crash in 95 to the second shortest Formula 1 race of all time in 1991. Of course, in 94 with the controversy of the Schumi Hill incident. Of course, as well, Damon Hill won by 2 laps here in I think it was 2 laps at 1 lap in 1995. One of the most dominant victories in Formula 1 history. So there's a lot of ups and a lot of downs, yes, around Adelaide, but round Melbourne, round Albert Park, of course, like I said, came in 1996. First race, we saw a big accident, Martin Brundle going over the top, I believe it was of David Coulthard's McLaren. Back then, of course, we've seen tragedy, of course, in 2001 with Jack Villeneuve having a big accident, unfortunately claimed alive with a marshal due to a tyre going through the fence. Of course, since then, they've made the fences slightly narrower, of course, so tyres cannot go through them, and that's proved very dividend and very useful in a few times we've seen tyres come off, especially a couple of years ago. Well, I say a couple of years ago, it was quite a few years ago now. 2016, Jess. Fernando Alonso. That big accident, of course, over the top of Esteban Gutierrez. A safety car in this lap. So my rambling, perfect timing, as we are back going racing in a second.
Now, J-Luke's made an interesting point in the chat. Thank you, J-Luke. That Casper would like a safety car to happen at lap 20 for his race to play into good effect and for him to have a masterclass strategy. And if there's no safety car around about lap 20, he's pretty much buggered. What happened there?
What was that? That was very odd. It looked like I was running on Motor Harry. It looked like his car. I don't know if that was lag or that was...
that was you. That was you.
That me?
Yeah, because it didn't happen to me. But anyway, we're about to go green flag racing. Charlie leads the way after many laps of leading. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, there we go then. Back racing again. A minor glitch for me, apparently, on Harry's car. His car's suddenly glitched through the floor and then glitched back up, so never mind. But Charlie leads this race away then from Harry B. They're all weaving to warm up their tires. There are a few cars making a move at the background. There's Timo on Foxy. Timo now up into 6th position, so he's on his move. Then Casper will dearly love to get on the move as well. Oi, 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 oi. Big tracks up for him. He's not going to get on the move. He does that, Sunshine. Keep it in a straight line, and well, he almost dropped it. He's going to have a lot of fresher tyres. It will be a lot quicker than these guys, but if he drops it off the road, he won't be quick at all because, well, he will be not in a race. He'll be in the wall. And if you're in the wall, you're not very quick. So, doesn't need to do that, but get his head down. Talking of being in the wall, he's Iceman, who's gone in the wall. Ironically timed right there, and he's lost his front wing. So, there's an issue for Iceman, but Charlie still pulling away. He's led this race pretty much all of this race. Matter in 3rd. Would dearly love to try and get that 2nd.
Cam's looking to go for a move. It's turn number 9 and 10. Can he do it? No, not quite. Casper gets the move done on speed 9, and he's got the traction to get potentially past Foxy Red. Heading towards 11 and 12. Let's see what he can do. Can he go around the outside maybe with the switcheroo? No, he doesn't go for the switcheroo, but maybe he can go again into the next right-hander then. Trying to leave as much space as they can as well. Very tight, lads. He's in the grass. Well, he's in the grass. That's not good. And luckily he didn't take out cars in the process there, but I'm almost certain that Scott Bugner is going to leave this as an open invitation saying thank you very much. If you make a mistake, I'm going to get past you. So, that was a bit of a contact there from the pair of them. So Scott is up to 9, Casper down to 10. He's dropping her over the show. So maybe the softs is not the best idea already because he's dropping quite a bit. But meanwhile, up front, Charlie's still keeping the gap like he did before the safety car, but Matter is chasing down Harry B for 2nd place.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of lag right there to Casper, because that looked very weird, because he was alongside and all of a sudden his car just twitched and it just lagged on my screen and went in the grass. So I'm presuming that's probably what happened there on his end. The latter, he just mysteriously went wide. Probably the latter option, but like I said, Matter keeping on the back. Meanwhile, Scott Bugner has got past Knighton. He's now up into 8th position for the Haas driver, who of course made that mistake earlier on. But coming back, we got yellow flags, and that is Jinx off into the waters around the outside. It's going to be, it's just about giving each other a worm, as Knighton can't quite do it. Leg gets a bit twitchy. Hello. Well, hello, Sunshine, he says. There's Casper. Thank you very much. I'm taking your position and be demoted down to 10th. Sunny Jim. DRS is now enabled. We are continuing on today's race. It's Casper. Got enough straight line speed to try and take a move up the inside of Bugner. No, he has not. Stays back for the time being. But like I said, this isn't working so far, Jess. This really hasn't gone his way. DRS is enabled, but he's going to have to wait a little bit to get any benefit of it. Charlie Harris still leads this race. 0.8 of a second for Harry B. Matter in 3rd. And then comes Kibbo in 4th. TL in 5th position. He's really gained out of this safety car. He's got himself back in the action. Alas, though, he has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Timo's really gained a lot out of this because he's right up there in this battle. Meanwhile, Knighton's just been overtaken by Cab. So down another position as here comes Flexi to try and flex his way around the outside, though I think the Alpine should just about have enough straight line speed to do so. Right leg covers any opportunity to make a manoeuvre through into the correct left-right. And again, Flexi down in 12th. Only 1 point so far for the Mercedes team. As meanwhile, Casper on the move up into another position. That's now 8th place. But I'll tell you what, he's going to be hoping for a safety car very quickly. But even if there is a safety car, Jess, he's not going to gain any more positions because everyone else will just stop on a set of softs. So he's kind of a two-horse attack. Now, saying that, we've got a car pointing the wrong direction, and that is Knighton. No damage done. He'll get himself back going. I think maybe actually front left end plate might be damaged, but he's going to get himself back on the road, and a minor bit of damage. Like, he's always say something and something immediately happens. But that's the way things normally work. Harry B, meanwhile, continuing to come under a little more threat, Jess, and I tell you what, he's going to be under a lot more pressure now because Charlie's got over a second away. DRS will not help him at all because he's out of it.
Yep, he is out of DRS, so I'm sure Matter is going to know that Harry B is out of DRS, and I'm looking at his ERS as well. He hasn't got many at all, Harry B, so The red flashing light on your car means, on the back, means that they're harvesting. And I'm sure Matt will use that to his advantage to gain the straight line speed he needs through this next right-hander. He doesn't go for the move on this occasion. He doesn't go for the switcheroo either. What about the next right-hander?
Do it on the main straight.
No, he's going to do it on the main straight. I think that's where he can gain the most time, or maybe it's turn number 4 as well. As Tony in the Williams has got past Slenderman up to P13 on those medium compounder tyres. So he's starting to use his mediums to full effect. But here comes Matter then. Down and start finish straight in towards turn number 1 as Casper sets the fast lap of the race. But Matter, he's going to wait another time. He's saving ERS him. He's saving ERS. He's going to go for it. He's going left. He's going to stick left. Can he hold his line? He's going to cut back maybe as well. Or Harry B trying to defend on the right-hand side, heading towards 4 and 5. Beautiful defending from Harry B, I have to say. And all of this allowing Kieran as well to join in. And he's playing a backseat of all of this. TL44 the same as well. They're just going to sit pretty.
Oh, they've hit each other. They've collided. Matter into the side of Kieran. And they've touched each other there, Jess. A bit of contact. I don't think any damage would have been done. But it was front left to front right contact there. End plate to tyre. I think they might have just about got away with that. Was all caused, Jess, because Harry B went wide off the circuit. Yep. Suddenly backed them up a little bit. And Matter had a twitch. Kieran couldn't make any avoiding action. Hit the rear of him. Well, hit the side of him, should I say. No damage, I believe, would be done to either car. I tell you, definitely not, because Matt's already looking bad on him. But I tell you what, Harry there really gave him a squeeze earlier on. Put him a little bit off the circuit. But I think, oh, big twist there. And that's now going to be a position done. Say goodbye to that second position, he says. But both using their ERS together. And look, the Haas pulling back away then. Are we going to see? No, he's not. He can't keep up the inside. So defending really well is Harry. He's using all his ERS. But now he's going to become defenseless. Is Matter going to send one up the inside? Thinks about it. He forces Harry wide, but Harry will have the inside to get a bit more contact. Harry really defending well. He's backing these guys up because look behind. It's Kieran, TLR. Then comes Casper, Timo, all these guys getting on these guys. And Harry really defending well right now. And still cannot get past Kamada. He's going to have to try and catch him in a position where he's not expecting. Yellow flag as Iceman has had another issue, but still can't do it here. There's no opportunity down here. There might be one in the exit of the chicane, but he's just using his ERS where he needs to. And the slight bit of dirty air is not helping. Still can't do it. He's going to have to try and make a lunge, try and put him offline. But where do you go for a lunge? Where do you try around Albert Park on a circuit which, yes, it's wide, but there's still not all over taking opportunities? Down towards turn number 1. That's a possibility. Get a good exit. Sit back, relax, take all the ERS, maybe take a lap or two, but you can't because behind him, Kieran not too far away. Use this to close up a bit more. You might just have to take a dive and just try and force him to make a mistake. But he's gone a little bit wide again. Turn number 1, though, is a small mistake this time for Harry. But the exit he gets out of turn number 1 is immense here and still nowhere through. Meanwhile, further down the field, we've got, like I said, this gaggle of cars. I tell you what, there's Foxy going up the inside of Timo. Timo will not be happy about that one, I imagine, because that was a bit of a day late and a dollar short. But he's got the job done. There was a bit of contact. He had to open the door up, but that's motor racing. Sometimes you got to count your chickens. And I tell you what, that's exactly what I imagine Matter probably will be hoping to do if he can't get past. He's close enough this time as that is Hyper in the wall. It's still low. Matter not close enough. He's just not using his ERS. Both of them have used, all three of them have used a lot of their ERS. TLR watching this battle again, but this is great defending for Harry. He's just got enough pace, Jess, to hold on. We are all up 20 of 29 now. That means we've got just over, 8-9 laps to go in this motor race. And so far, so well defended for Harry.
Yep, Harry is doing all he can. I have to say, he's been defending very well all race, but that is allowing Charlie Harris to pull the gap to 4.3 seconds. There's yellow flag. That is Cam in the wall. Now a bit of a spin. I think that was a bit of reset to track there, but it was hard to tell from my angle there. in towards the final corner. So Cam, he's having a bit of a lonely race down in 14th. More time penalties are coming on to the drivers at the moment. We'll keep an eye on Timo then, as he's got the slipstream on the McLaren of Foxy Red side by side into turn number 4 to left hand side he goes. Does Timo and the Ferraris, they make contact, they hit each other. Once again, there's a lot of drivers that hit each other, I have to say, and that is not good. I believe the stewards are going to be very, very busy indeed after tonight, and it's gone bad to worse for Timo. Unfortunately, he's dropped down to 10th. I don't think he's got damage though, but he's got Tony chasing him down as well. Tony's going to think about going left, it seems, at the moment through towards turn number 9, as he's got no ERS at all, actually, is Tony, whereas Timo's got quite a bit more ERS as they both make contact again. Oh my goodness, what is going on with Timo tonight? I don't know, but that is helping the guys up front to stretch their gaps a little bit more. Let's watch this battle between P2 once again, as Harry is being... Well, he's reminding me of Sergio Perez at the moment. He is being the defensive master he is at the moment to try and hold these guys up for Mata, Kieran and TL44 as well. Doing a fantastic job, a stellar job as well to get some good points on his first race here at VSL. Obviously, he did the pre-season race, but this is the first proper race where you do get some points. So Mata once again on the attack. Getting past Harry, maybe. No, he closed the door. Timo has a time penalty, though, which is unfortunate. Expect Casper, though, Liam, to pit very soon. There is no safety car, so I think Casper's race is buggered.
Yeah, it's not gone well for your top 2 last season. 1 in a wall 1. Definitely having some tyre issues, it would seem. They'll be surprised if he can try and stretch loose tyres a little bit further. But here again, no matter. This is a nice place. If you want to use ERS, use it now, but... He's just waiting for the DRS, but it's just not working for him. He's going to have to try and force him into an uncompromised position. He's got to try and force him into a position where he's not expecting to be attacked, because using the DRS so it's just a follow, it's just not working, Sunshine. You're just not closing up as fast as you are. Down here, you could try and make a move, but again, it's too far back. And like I said earlier, Jess, this track, there is opportunities, but they are far and few between each other despite the widening. Turn 1 and turn 2, there is still the opportunity for those dives like you've seen before. We saw it like a Foxy doing up the inside of Timo earlier on. And let's see DRS activated using a bit of ERS, but not again because he's just saving it for the time being. And I think he's just ready to go on for another attack. He's got a lot more ERS now. So is he going to use all of it now? Now he's going to go. He's going to try and dummy him. He's going to force him to go left. And he's going to try and go around the outside. And now what's going to happen again? He's going to do that. He's going to squeeze him. And now he still can't come through. Great defending for Harry. This is brilliant attacking from Madder. But he's just being a little bit too conservative right now. He's not getting his elbows out. He doesn't want to try and force the issue. He doesn't want to try and force the car up the inside. And which will most certainly end in contact like we saw with Timo earlier on. And this is another place, Jess, where you could try and take a lunge, try and make a pod shot if you've got enough ERS. He's close, but he's just not using the ERS. Because I think he knows right now that whatever he does, Harry will defend and Harry will have the countermeasures because they have both got very even ERS. And Kieran just following these guys. He's just watching. I think right now he's no threat from the car behind. He's no real point battling. Oh, there's a big car off. Who's that? Is that Casper? Off in turn 1. It is Casper gone straight on.
It is tyres, Liam. His tyres are absolutely cooked. It's not helping him at all. He's got to move out of the way because Jinx will be coming very, very soon.
Rear left puncture, Jess.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a rear left puncture. So
well, the tyres, they're not meant to last this long. They're not meant to last 11 laps. They're only meant to last 9, Liam. So maybe he was overcooking it. He was thinking of a late safety car, but it's not going to happen. So he's going to be the reigning champion from last season. Has gone from bad to worse. It's like this from last season anyway. The reigning champion has got his full stop. Timo as well. What's happening to our top 2 from last season? They seem to be struggling a lot. And bearing in mind, that's what we got to move. Kieran, oh my God, Kieran, what a move from him into turn number 7. He seized the opportunity and he took it up to B3. And don't forget, Liam, the bottom 3 in this division will be moved down to tier 2 at the end of the season, and we do not
Timo in the wall, Jess.
Timo's in the wall. Oh, I wonder if he's going to call it a day.
It's not looking the way he wants to so far, but now Kieran's going to be the one attacking to see if he can get past. I tell you what, Matt has really lost some pace here. He's starting to drop back. I think he's got the pace. Meanwhile, Timo out of this race, and that is a safety car. Safety car has been deployed then here on that 24 of 29.
Surely
in comes Charlie, in comes second. They're all going to come in the pit lane. And now we have going to have a, 5-lap shootout then to decide the victor of the Australian Grand Prix. Casper has been spared this race. He is going to be counting his chickens, thanking the Lord. His rival from last season might well have saved him today.
Yes, indeed, but I wonder if quite a few people would want track position. Flexi, he's being very brave. He's deciding, you know what, track position's more important, but maybe he didn't do his research. He didn't do his research because the softs are a full second faster than the hard. Well, 1.5 seconds faster than the hards, and softs could get to the end from here. So Flexi is going to be left to dust at the moment. So Charlie Harris is going to be loving life because he's got a car separating himself and Harry B then as well. But look at those time penalties, Liam. We've got Charlie Harris, Harry B, Matter and Kieran in the top 5 having no penalties. Same with Tony as well. So Tony's race has been saved as well. If you let me just have a look at these time penalties because I want to know whose race is messed up and who should be okay. So the ones with 3 seconds, Flexi, Scott Bugner, TL44, Slenderman, Cam, Jinx, they should all be okay. Whereas Foxy Red, he's going to be in a lot of danger on 9 seconds. Then we've got Casper, Iceman and Hyper on 6 seconds. Same with Finley as well. Now, I'm liking this at the moment. This is going to get very, very intense indeed. And as Jalen is saying, yes, I definitely agree with you. He has to pull off a defensive masterclass in order for him to stay in P2. He probably hasn't realised that those softs can get to the end, but we will have to wait and see. You never know what can happen in Formula 1. Anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. And I think we've got a few more laps before obviously the safety car will come in, and then it'll be a 2 or 3 lap shootout to the end as Hyper, his race is over now because he's got a drive-through penalty.
Yes, that's speeding under the safety car. I mean, he is pushing it to try and get back to the pits. I mean, I think his race, that is done. I mean, it's cruel because normally, he's got another one. So,
wait, he's got 2? Surely that's disqualifying.
I think he's just pushing it because he's so far back. That's weird because normally it says catch up to the safety car. So, I don't know why they're giving him penalties there. But, there's another one. So he's pushing it about the same speed as Iceman, who's pushing it. That's weird.
That is odd. That is very, very odd.
So 3 drive-through penalties. So
3?
Now he's disqualified.
That's harsh. That is harsh, my friend.
That's odd. That is very, very odd indeed. I don't remember seeing that. I think that's a glitch. But because he was pushing the same speed as Iceman, he was pushing about the same as Casper, who's caught to the back of the field. So that's weird. But I tell you what though, Jess, the line of drivers out of this race, Timo last season's runner-up out of this race, Knighton out, Aiden Rogers out, Hyper out, and the man I hyped to be champion this season out as well. So of all the drivers that you'd expect to be doing well, which I said will be doing well, are no longer in this race. The man likes of Casper, who you'd expect to be doing good, down in 14th. Iceman down in 15th. Safety car in this race. Flexi somehow in second position with a very bold strategy. But will it pay off? I tell you what, Charlie will be very, very happy indeed that he's got that buffer in between him because he knows right now, without a shadow of a doubt, Flexi will not be able to attack very easily. Despite him wanting to, I don't think he's going to have the pace. He won't have the speed unless he gets him down towards turn 1 and does some magician's trick. But here we go then. 3 and a bit laps to go. When's Charlie going? Now is the answer because he's gone. He's bolted. And Flexi, like predictable, has no good pace. He's got no grip. He's going to have to go defensive then. Let's see which way is he going to go. Harry goes to the inside line, but Thinks better of it. Doesn't want to go make a move. Jinx, meanwhile, dropped down the field. Looks like a bit of contact maybe down there. On the exit of turn number 1. And let's see, is he going to think about a move up the inside? Is Harry going to take the lunge? Yes, he is going to take the lunge up the inside. Gets the job done. Yes, he does. And Flexy's just going to try and hold on to that. Meanwhile, you can see Scott Bugner battling away with Kieran. And Kieran then demoted down a position. As now, up the inside goes Matter. And he needs to try and get these positions done as soon as physically possible. There is Kieran. Has dropped down into 6th position. Bugner up back into 5th. Next up will be Flexy in 4th. And Flexy's got to try and negotiate 2 and a bit laps. And he's got 1, 2, 3. He's got lots of cars behind him, let's be honest here. Right now, as Foxy Red getting overtaken by TLR. Slender down into 9th. And there's a big gap meanwhile down to Tony. We've got up the inside looking as Jinx, Iceman and Casper. These 4 drivers have really dropped down the order then. As these guys get awfully close there. It's almost on the grass, I say. As there you go, but they're keeping each other just about in arm's length. Meanwhile, here we can see there's Matter Jetson. He needs to make this move done as soon as possible if he has any hope to win this race.
Look at the gap that Charlie's pulling there. In 1 second, he's pulled the DRS out of DRS range to Harry, which is very, very good indeed. As we can see, Flexy's actually coming back on Kieran a little bit there, so that's pretty decent, but we'll see what Matt can do. Oh, that was a bit squirmy. Flexy's gone off a little bit. He's got past by 2 cars. He's bottled it. Slenderman's got past him as well.
It's Mercedes bottling. What is this Mercedes? Absolutely blow their chances nearly. As Slender into the side of Foxy, just after Flexy made a mistake in the pair of them. Having all sorts of issues. I'd not be surprised to see if Foxy's got some kind of damage right there. And I tell you what, I think Flexy might not have finished on the point at this rate. I think that no, he might definitely will finish on the point. But Slenderman somehow
that was
spear the McLaren off the centre of the earth right there. Meanwhile, here is 2nd and 3rd. 1 and a bit laps to go, Jess. These 2 still close together. Is there going to be a chance of DRS? No, I don't think there is going to be a chance of DRS, you know.
There will be DRS. There will be DRS, Liam. So, sprint to the finish for these 3. But Harry's got back the DRS on Charlie, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So, I think it's about a second. Then maybe 4th as well. DRS enabled. 1 DRS zone. Bring it on. Well, actually, we've got 2, I believe. We've got 1 heading towards... 1?
Yeah, just be 1 because they won't get a run up to the line with DRS,
yeah, there's only 1 detection point, so coming up. So yeah, they won't get the DRS here. So they have to wait until they get towards turn number 10 and 11 as Foxy's got past Slenderman again. So that is him back up into the 7th position. Those are both going argy-bargy then for the rest of this race, which is great to see. Off goes Slenderman! Off goes Slenderman! And the brave move he made earlier, well, his hard work has not paid off, unfortunately. What a shame. But what's going to happen to everybody else? Mazza is a little bit too further back to get past Harry B. But here comes the detection point. Scott Bugler is right on the back of Matadin. Is he going to get past into turn number 12? He doesn't get past into turn number 12. Looks like the order could change. As it is, but Scott Bugler will drop down due to penalty, so Kieran will get 4th anyway. But Charlie is coming to the line, Liam.
Yeah, he's doing well, looking further down the field at all the battles, but here is Charlie up to the line. He'll take the first victory of the season. And it's Charlie on the top step from Harry in 2nd. Matter back on the podium from Kieran, Bugner, TLR, Foxy. Meanwhile, Flexy's just about going to finish in 9th position. Finley has... Oh, dear God! Casper has been speared across the line. Finley's had a big accident somewhere. Slenderman's in the wall across the line as he pirouettes. He's going to get to the line. Yes, he is. But, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Some drama here today. And this is going to really be interesting. The stewards are going to have to be looking at some incidents today because there was a few of them. But that will not take away, though, from the first-time winner, Jazz.
First-time winner here at VSL. That is what we're going to see. And I believe only a reserve driver as well. So, well, with he might have changed his name. I don't know. But to be fair, it's always good to see first-time drivers win. It's amazing. It just shows how talented this tier really is. And we saw that with Timo last season. He only started off as a reserve and he became a championship contender. Could we see the same for this man, Charlie Harris? Well, if my calculations are correct, I think it could be as well. We got a Haas and an Alpine on the podium of Harry B and Massa joining them as well. Good results for both of them as Massa gained positions as well. Harry started pole, but what could have been? But still, P2 is an amazing feat for him on his first race here at VSL. So, your running order then, for the first time this season, your race winners, Charlie Harris in P1, Harry B P2, we've got Matta, Kieran, Scott Bungner, TL44 Cam, Plexi, Tony, Foxy Red, your top 10, Jinx and Iceman are your final point scorers. And I believe Tony gets the fastest lap. Yeah, he gets 2 extra points for fastest lap. Well done to him. So he gets points for 9th and points for fastest lap. So we've then got Casper, Finley and Slenderman are your finishers. Your timers are Timo, Knighton, Yarham, Hayden Rogers and Hyper. Quite a few disqualifications as well. Well, I'm not sure they do driver of the days here at VSL, but we're going to pick some anyway. And I'll let you go first. Who is your driver of the day?
Well, Jess, you know exactly who I'm probably going to pick for driver of the day. That will be Matta, getting back on the podium for me. From being washed last season to being slightly unwashed this season. So, well done for him getting back on the podium. That is my driver of the day.
Yes, indeed. My driver of the day... I wish I could pick Matta, but you already picked him. But, well, it's got to be Charlie Harris for getting from 3rd to winning the race. He was able to handle the pressure of Harry B and Matta behind and all the other drivers like Kieran as well. So, he didn't start pole, but he was able to get moves to make sure he take the lead of the race. So, my driver of the day will go to Charlie Harris, but honourable mentions has to say Cam from 20th to 7th, never gave up despite those spins. TL44, he was also a reserve, did a great job getting from 12th position to 6th, so he has had a decent race in VSL's books as well. Even though Kieran's dropped it, he had some good battles as well. Foxy Red from 16th to 10th. It could have been bad for him, but still pretty decent as well. But what could have been for some drivers? But I need to double check where we are next week. Well, I can get the calendar up. We are at Bahrain next week for the second round of the season, which I am looking forward to, not gonna lie. Are you looking forward to Bahrain? So many different characteristics compared to, obviously, Australia. It's the opening round of the real life season as well. I've driven it last week. I found it alright, but, well, similar strategies, I think, but the temperatures are going to be even hotter for the drivers.
Yes, certainly. Remember as well, next week we are going to be back up in towards the 27s and the 28 degrees of temperature in the UK, so enjoy that if you're from the UK as we start to get a bit more summer in this kind of cloudy summer we've got right now. But looking forward to Bahrain, which is significantly normally hotter than the UK. So that'll be interesting to see. But Jess, I'll let you round it off.
Yes, indeed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out our Patreon page for loads of benefits you can gain. Make sure you do follow us on Twitter. We are at VSL_F1. And also like and subscribe to the channel as well if you want to see more VSL action. We stream every Wednesday night at 8 PM. And you can check Tier 2, which they're in the middle of their race at the moment. They're just about to end it because they started quite late. They're on lap 21 at the moment, and that's Matt Ryan leading that one as well. And they had quite a few safety cars there as well, so make sure you check that out on More Games YouTube channel, but I'm sure they're going to sort that out, so it'll be on VSL's channel next week. Also follow us on Twitter. You got myself at JessGames95 and Liam's is at Liam New Media. We got quite a few milestones gained, but there we go. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Jessica Ball. Evil Dragon has been Liam New. Have a good evening, everybody, and we will see you next week for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Take care and goodbye.